Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge, and this is Piggyskin Picks, where I pick the winners and losers of the upcoming NFL week. In week number 9, last week, week number 8, we hit 78.57%. Hey, take that for what the fuck it is. So let's start with Thursday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Oakland Raiders. I don't really give a shit who's hosting this game. This is the Toilet Bowl. This is the game for the number 1 overall draft pick. And the San Francisco 49ers are going to shoot themselves in the foot and win this fucking game. The Oakland Raiders are such a goddamn mess right now, despite the fact that I still think that John Gruden is a football savant and he is poised to have this team succeed in Las Vegas. This team is going to tank for 2 years. They are going to stink, and this is going to be this is just going to be the epitome of the stinker right here. And I truly believe this Thursday Night Football game is going to be a disaster. Now, we move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens in the clash of the AFC North. It's going to be a power grab for that AFC North top spot. I know the Bengals have been kind of slipping in and out of that top spot there, but between the two real powerhouses, I'm going to go ahead and select the Baltimore Ravens. I understand that in terms of the receiving core, the Steelers have better weapons, but I think against the real defense, the Steelers might, get shut down a little bit. Ben Roethlisberger tends to still be an interception machine, whereas Joe Flacco, he will have those up and down games. He had the down game. I'm expecting the up game. This is kind of his trend, and if it bites me in the ass, it is what it is. Now, guys, the Chicago Bears versus the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to call it Chicago Bears, and they're just going to maul Buffaloes. Bears are going to maul Buffaloes. Bears beats Buffaloes. Battlestar Galactica. Because let's be honest, man, Buffalo, as close as they try to bring that New England Patriots game, they didn't have a fucking chance in hell. They didn't. And against a Chicago team who kept that New England defense, asking questions, I think Chicago will maul the Buffalo Bills on Sunday morning here in Vegas. So, bye-bye Bills. Okay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because guess who's back? Fitzmagic! Yes, Fitzmagic is back. Because Jameis Winston threw 4 fucking interceptions in the first half. Probably first or 3 quarters. Doesn't matter, because Fitzmagic is back. And I understand the Carolina Panthers have been phenomenal. Defensively, they've been really spot on. Cam Newton has found his groove, but Fitzmagic defies all logic. Now, this is why I'm going to go with Fitzmagic here. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Cleveland Browns. This is where I speak logic in my head, and I will flat out say the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this game. Sorry, Cleveland Browns. I love those Browns. I love what they do. I have so much sympathy for those guys, but it's the Kansas City Chiefs. However, I will say this. With the firing of, Hugh Jackson and offensive coordinator Todd Haley, I think there is going to be a bit of a change in the atmosphere there. I think they are going to keep this game relatively close, maybe within a field goal, but they will inevitably lose, the Cleveland Browns, to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are firing on all cylinders. And I think between the Baltimore Ravens, New England Patriots, and the Kansas City Chiefs, these guys are going to be in the AFC Championship. One of these teams, obviously 2 of them, but one of them is going to outright win the AFC, and it's going to be one of those top 3. So now, guys, let's move on to the next game. The New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. Sammy and the Jets. I'm going to go ahead and select the New York Jets because the Miami Dolphins have been exposed as the fakers they are and as a poor defensive unit. And you got Brock Osweiler. Is there anything else I need to say? The Jets defense is the real deal, folks. A little bit on the younger side, but hey, seriously, they are the real deal. And Sam Darnold, much better quarterback. I'll take the New York Jets on that game. Now, guys, the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go ahead and select the Minnesota Vikings in what I like to think is going to be a really nice bounce-back momentum game for the Minnesota Vikings. This can be a nice win for them to carry on forth into the latter half of the season. Whereas Detroit, I saw them against the Seahawks last week where I thought, all right, this team's decent, but you still got ways to go in terms of developing. In terms, God, the defense and special teams was such a fucking mess. And then you let Golden Tate go to the fucking Eagles on a trade. So I just don't know about Detroit, and I'm going to go ahead and select the Minnesota Vikings on this one. Now, the Atlanta Falcons versus the Washington Redskins. You know, I've been betting against them, but I will go again. I will go with the Washington Redskins. And the reason why I say that, I still don't trust the Washington Redskins wholly. I really don't. But I could definitely see a Redskins team beating an Atlanta Falcon team whose, again, entire roster is in the goddamn hospital ward. So, yeah, if the Redskins don't close out, I'm going to say I told you so. But not in this video, because obviously I'm going to be wrong because I picked the Redskins. But I've been telling people I just don't trust the Redskins long term. They are going to choke somehow, some way. It's in their genetics. It will fucking happen. Now, the Houston Texans versus the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go ahead and select the Texans on this one, the Houston Texans. Now, the curious part of all this game is Demaryius Thomas, a 9-year veteran of the Denver Broncos, was traded over to the Houston Texans just 2 days ago at the trade deadline. The curious part now is they are hosting the Houston Texans in Demaryius Thomas's homecoming. And I think as decent of a guy he seems like on interviews, I think he's just going to be a fucking animal on the field and just play with this fucking chip on his shoulder and just go absolutely bananas, man. And I would love to see that. I would love to see Demaryius Thomas just fucking rip his old team a new asshole. And as for Denver, man, I mean, where are you guys really? What are you guys doing? What is John Elway thinking at this point? Is this kind of a mediocre rebuild? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Houston Texans, looking great. Looking great. All right. The Los Angeles Chargers versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. Guys, the Seahawks are doing something really bad to me. They're allowing me to feel optimism. With optimism comes foolishness and ignorance. And I'm going to say the Seattle Seahawks are going to fucking destroy the Los Angeles Chargers. My feelings say that. But what I think is actually going to happen in this game is the Chargers with Phillip Rivers is going to keep this game really fucking close. And somehow, with some Russell Wilson magic and the balance we have with the rushing game now, we are going to be able to close this game out probably with a 6-7 point differential. That's what I really think. And we move on to really one of the two big games of Sunday Night Football. And one of them being the Los Angeles Rams versus the New Orleans Saints. Now, obviously, LA comes in with an 8-0 record. I believe the Saints come in with a 5, if not a 6-1 record at this point. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. Now, people will call me haters. People will call me haters because I'm more than one person, of course. And the thing with the LA Rams, I just don't trust Jared Goff. Yes, Gurley is playing phenomenally, but something about Drew Brees is different. Like there's this vibe I can't shake off from Brees this season, and I have a weird feeling. And again, this is a weird feeling. I have a weird feeling the New Orleans Saints is going to come out of this one with a huge win. A huge win. Not the margin of victory, but I'm just saying it's going to be a huge win for them. Now, the Green Bay Packers versus the New England Patriots, the game that people are trying to hype up, but I just see no hype in it at all. The New England Patriots are going to dominate the Green Bay Packers. Dominate the Green Bay Packers. Now, you got Tom Brady, you got Gronkowski, you got Josh Gordon, you got Julian Edelman, you got Hogan, you got Sony Michel, you got James White, you got everybody. Now, the Packers, you guys are a mess. You guys are another team that is great on paper, but a fucking mess. And I just don't trust that organization to pull their head out of their asses and try to get some W's. I just don't. And we're going to see it on full display on Sunday Night Football. Now, Monday Night Football action, we are going to have the Tennessee Titans Going into Dallas Cowboys territory in AT&T Stadium. I can't pronounce today, boys and girls. I'm going to go ahead and say the Dallas Cowboys. You know what? To be honest, guys, I don't know what the fuck the Titans are playing for. I just don't know what the Titans are doing because at AFC South, the Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jaguars, are preoccupying that bottom 2 spot. I think the Colts and Texans are just going to be going head-to-head all the rest of the season. And I think the Titans are going to be slipping more and more. As for the Dallas Cowboys, I have a really good feeling about their new acquisition in Amari Cooper. I think this is going to give Dak some confidence, and maybe, just maybe, guys, we might see a balance in the running game there. Zeke might get 20-plus touches. So we're going to have to see. And that's it for Piggyskin Picks, boys and girls. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me at the SkyLounge on all the links in the description below. Like, comment, and subscribe for more daily content. Now, fuck off.